thank you for allowing me to speak in English, γιατί δεν θα τα κατάφερνα καθόλου στα φυσικά, είναι η τρίτη μου γλώσσα. And I thank Lydia Pagasu for the invitation to come and speak about my passion. So, nutrition is medicine and food is powerful. From the time of Hippocrates, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food, doctors have always known that food influences health. Today, I want to increase your awareness as to which foods are problematic and which ones benefit health, and particularly breast health. But before I go into details, I want to explain that the same diet that protects you against breast health also protects you against colon cancer, prostate cancer, and other types of diseases. I think I got it. Okay. Okay. And that's in the burden of disease study, the #1 killer in this space is diet. It is the #1 determinant of how long we live. What we eat is the #1 determinant of how well we live or how poorly we die. What we eat is what determines if we become disabled or not. So if diet and nutrition is the #1 thing related to health, it's the first thing we're taught in medical school, right? It's the first thing we talk to our patients about, right? So our food selection, our actions have predictable consequences. So when it comes to life and death decisions, our patients and ourselves make them 3 times a day. It's called breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we know that cancer, we know that diet is involved with cancer, about 20% in involvement, and now research is showing closer to 35%, that's on the low end. Recently, The Lancet published the Global Burden of Disease Study. In it, they stated obesity is set to overtake smoking as the leading cause of cancer. This is appalling, considering it is a modifiable risk factor, and I bring up obesity as it's very much related to the types of foods we eat. Right after The Lancet published that study, an article came out in the newspaper The Guardian. It showed some of the countries with the highest child obesity rates. The more populous countries facing the worst scenarios were Egypt, where more than 1/3 of the children aged 5 to 17 were overweight or obese. And guess who came in second place? Greece, with 31% of our children set up to be obese. And then by the year 2025, we will overcome the United States in childhood obesity. And this is a very frightening statistic for me. What I want to demonstrate with these statistics is that, like smoking, unhealthful eating habits affect the whole family. When parents eat poorly, their children do too. Obesity, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease spread around a family like food-borne disease. It's not so much shared genetics, it's shared recipes at the table. So cancer is a complex disease with many moving parts. Nutrition is a complex thing to study. So, when a complex system starts to dysfunction, it is best to try and treat it early on. And that's where prevention with food comes in. So let's briefly look at epigenetics. We know that breast cancer incidence is increasing, so it makes sense that preventive strategies would be the best approach to this. So, JAMA in 1984 coined the term the tomato effect. What does this mean? So tomatoes in the 1800s were considered poisonous in the States, although everyone in Europe was eating them. And it wasn't until someone in 1820 ate a whole basket of them outside a courthouse and it didn't die that people actually started to change how they thought about tomatoes in the United States. It's now a $1 billion industry there. For hundreds of years, thousands of people died from scurvy. Doctors knew that a little bit of lemon juice would cure scurvy. Did they use it as a medicine? No, they didn't. Why? Because they believe the humors were responsible for that. What role could food possibly play? So it is difficult, like I said earlier, to understand the role of nutrition unless you understand the mechanisms of action. So we are beginning to understand this role with the study of epigenetics. So the current theory is that lifelong exposure at physiological doses, I'm not talking about supplements, I'm not talking about vitamins, I'm talking about food, physiological doses can remodel the epigenome in a cumulative fashion by repetitive effects on the epigenetic machinery. However, bigger cohorts are required to demonstrate its significance and whether there is a causal link between DNA methylation changes and disease progression. So let food be your epigenetic medicine may just be the modern doctor's new line. So we're now gathering information on which foods provide the best benefits. Certain ones are high profile, like green tea, soy, grape, and curcumin, and even cocoa. So the most studied epigenetic lesion is the DNA hypermethylation at the promoter region of many genes. It's proved responsible for silencing more than 600 cancer-related genes, and this number is still increasing. They include tumor suppressor genes, genes involved in cell cycle regulation, DNA repair, angiogenesis, oxidative stress, and inflammatory damage play an important role in epigenetic reprogramming. And over here, you can see in this chart which natural compounds interfere with which enzymatic activity, and there's a whole slew of them. So this is where I'm going to introduce a precautionary tale. Prior to presenting the nutritional aspect of breast cancer prevention and evidence, I want to acknowledge here that nutritional influence on health is a complicated thing to study. We rely on suboptimal studies such as cohort studies, prospective studies, and doing a double-blind placebo-controlled randomized control studies almost, not impossible, but almost impossible to do with this type of research. However, like smoking, there will most likely be a series of thousands of papers that lead in one direction. It took the medical community over 25 years, over 7,000 papers, before they acknowledged that smoking was a problem. There are many interconnecting and moving parts in nutrition. It's impossible to say that eating A leads to B, which then inhibits the big C. So what can we do? Which foods are the best? If you actually follow the advice of the official dietary guidelines for cancer prevention, does it actually reduce your risk of cancer? Well, if you manage your weight, eat more plant foods, less animal foods, less alcohol, and breastfeed if you're a woman, based on the largest prospective study on diet and cancer in history, you may significantly lower your risk of breast cancer, endometrial cancer, colorectal cancer, pretty much all cancers combined. The take-home message, the take-home message is not coming up. It'll come up, there it is. Plant foods. Eat foods mostly of plant origin. Well, luckily we live in an environment that allows us to do just that. We have the Mediterranean diet at our disposal. And I'm not talking about the modern Mediterranean diet, which incorporates souvlaki and patataya at 7 o'clock at night. I'm talking about your yaya's bowl of paquettes. Okay? So let's look into some details about the foods in this diet, and you will notice the red bottle of wine, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's start with the nuts and the fiber in this picture. So in adults, it's clear. And as you can see in this 2012 systematic review, that the more fiber you get, the lower your risk of breast cancer. And the same thing apparently when you're younger. So the Harvard Nurses Health Study tried to determine which plants were particularly protective in reducing breast cancer risk. They identified fiber in nuts. Women who had the most fiber intake during the adolescence had 25% lower risk of this potentially precancerous breast disease. But I mean, there's fiber in nuts, there's fiber in vegetables, there's fiber in beans, whole grains, all plant foods. Did any class of plant foods stick out? Well, turns out nuts were found to be particularly protective. 2 servings a week, not a big amount, a little handful twice a week, where it's associated with 36% lower risk. But then that raises the question of which type of nuts? Like Do you have to eat true nuts like almonds and pecans and walnuts? Or can peanuts do? And the answer is both. So, compared to those who rarely ate nuts, those eating just 1 or 2 handfuls a week during high school appear to drop their risk by 30%. In summary, their study observed significant inverse associations between adolescent dietary fiber and nuts and the risk of proliferative benign breast disease. But I mean, Mediterranean diet has a lot of components in it. Another part of it is olive oil. This study is impressive because it is the first randomized trial finding effect of a long-term dietary intervention on breast cancer incidence. So women allocated to the Mediterranean diet, supplemented with extra virgin olive oil, showed a 62% relatively lower risk of malignant breast cancer than those allocated to the control diet. So they postulated that olive oil polyphenols may have a potential role in breast cancer prevention via inhibition of tumor growth, proliferation, migration, invasiveness, in vitro and in vivo. Another study out of the BMJ demonstrated that the Mediterranean diet was significantly associated with longer telomere length, and we know that this seems to offer some sort of protection. In 2006, this meta-analysis study showed 11% decrease in overall breast cancer in women who followed the Mediterranean diet. When they further analyzed subtypes of vegetables and types of breast cancer, they noticed an inverse association with yellow-orange vegetables and ER-negative breast cancer. This is important because these types of tumors are actually really quite challenging and difficult to treat. All right. Then 4 years later, following up on this study, this meta-analysis found similar results. Each serving of vegetables intake was associated with 6% reduction in, again, ER-negative breast cancer. And each serving of fruit was associated with 12% reduction. And I'm bringing this study up because this is what we call the EPIC study. It's based on over 350,000 women in Europe who were mostly between the ages of 35 and 70 years of age. And it showed a modest decrease in breast cancer. But what was important in this study is that the Greek component, the Greek segment of EPIC observed a 41% lower risk of breast cancer in postmenopausal women. And they have seen that the Greek women were eating more of a true Mediterranean diet than other women in Europe. So let's address the bottle of red wine that we saw earlier on. We know that alcohol is actually a risk factor for cancer, but nutrition is never straightforward. So it has so many variables. And we have this anomaly. This study out of Harvard, the Women's Health Study, actually suggests that there's even less or even no risk from red wine. And we might have figured out why. Red wine may serve as a nutritional aromatase inhibitor, which may ameliorate the elevated breast cancer risk associated with alcohol intake. And as you can see from this graph, that lots of fruits and vegetables actually contain natural aromatase inhibitors, but red grapes seem to take the gold medal, and strawberries come in second. But why accept any elevated risk? You could actually just eat the grapes. I know, it's not fun. All right, what other plants might have aromatase inhibitors? Well, we know out of the vegetable class that mushrooms seem to have the best aromatase inhibitor abilities. And you can see the percentage of activity remaining of aromatase gets severely decreased when mushrooms start getting added to the equation. Now, what kind of mushrooms? Are we talking about the really expensive mushrooms, or can do the little button mushrooms work this as well? Turns out the really cheap ones, the little tiny little button mushrooms that we say in English, are the ones that do the best job. Here you can see as you add more and more, as you add more and more white mushroom extract to shut off estrogen manufacturing, you can get cancer growth to go almost back to baseline. And now that we know it may work, what's the required dose? I mean, you have to eat 5 kilos a day to get this. What's the dose, right, that this effect occurs at? About 100 grams, which is about 5 mushrooms a day. Now, this is a National Cancer Institute study that provided the strongest evidence to date that there may indeed be something special about lignin classified nutrients for breast cancer prevention. They took a bunch of young women with suspicious breast biopsy, gave them a teaspoon of ground flaxseed, that's linarosporo, trimeno linarosporo is what these women were given, every day for a year before getting a repeat needle biopsy. So what happened at the end of the year? The primary endpoint was the expression of proliferation marker, KI67. Nine of the women it went up, but in 80% of the other women it went down. Overall, they found less proliferation changes in the breast tissue and fewer precancerous changes. That's 2 teaspoons of flaxseed, not a lot. So I know the talk is on primary prevention, but I think prevention of recurrence is equally important. And this is one-of-a-kind study in nutrition. I have found you a randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind prospective study involving postmenopausal women with primary breast cancer. They took over 3,000 women with biopsy showing breast cancer and gave them flaxseed while they waited for surgical removal. Between the time of the first biopsy and surgery, patients were randomized to either a placebo group or flaxseed containing muffin. Muffin compliance was good. This is something I don't often read in academic journals. And they had a control muffin and a flaxseed muffin. They went all out. The results were those lucky enough to be randomized in the flax group saw on average their tumor cell proliferation go down, cancer cell deaths go up, and their CERBB2 score go down. So the recent observations, I'm now moving on to phytates, another category of food, and you'll find out in 2 seconds what foods are high in phytates. The recent observations on phytates as an anti-carcinogen have support from population-based studies which show lower incidence of cancer in populations consuming vegetarian-type diets. Because phytates are found primarily in beans, grains, nuts, and seeds, the average intake of phytate in vegetarian women is about twice that of people eating a mixed diet. But of all the things phytates can do, the anti-cancer activity of phytic acid is the most important. So phytates have been shown to inhibit both estrogen-positive and estrogen-negative breast cancers. Okay. And phytate targets cancer through multiple pathways, combination of antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, immune-enhancing activity through detox, differentiation, and angiogenesis. In other words, phytate affects the principal pathways of malignancy. And not just some of them, apparently it targets all of them. Besides affecting tumor cells directly, phytates can act on immune functions by augmenting natural cell activity as well as neutrophils. And then it can also starve tumors as a last line of defense. So not only can it block the formation of new blood vessels that may be feeding tumors, they can actually also disform capillary tumors, indicating that phytates may not just help block tumors, but actually cut off existing supplies to the tumors. What's really remarkable about phytates is that unlike any other cancer agent, it not only causes a reduction in cancer cell growth, but it actually also enhances differentiation. So reversion of the appearance of cancer cells back to that of normal, meaning it causes cancer cells to stop acting like cancer cells. So, the Wells study, published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, demonstrates that if women made one of their 5 daily servings of fruit or vegetables, a cruciferous vegetable, they could cut off the cancerous they could diminish the recurrence rates of breast cancer by 50%. What are those cruciferous vegetables? Broccoli, cabbage, zucchini, kale. These are the superstars of breast cancer. These findings indicated that sulforaphane is the active ingredient in broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. It has memory suppressive actions involving mitotic cell cycle arrest. and suggest a mechanism linked to the disruption of normal tubulin polymerization. And over here, I'm going to show you some cancer cells. All right, the top one is estrogen positive, the bottom cells are estrogen negative. And you can see as you start wiping, putting broccoli juice on them, they start to diminish. You can see the cells, the same effect on stem cells. So, in closing, the food that you eat can either be the safest form and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. This cartoon demonstrates exactly what I've been talking about, food as medicine. Nutrition is information to your cells and the foundation of health. In spite of our giant leaps forward in modern medicine, Hippocrates had it right from the beginning. I would only add one new word to his statement, let food be thy preventative medicine. Thank you.